Well, hey there team, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to a little bit more Stationeers. As we sort of trundle along, well, we just built this tool manufacturer. Now I was going to put it there, I think. So the whole concept with this is that we can then build tool belts, which we can use as a storage solution. Oh, I'm in a hole. For our ore. Now. Oh, it's nice of it to tell us that. So we're going to have to... Very good. Iron sheets and a welding torch. We can do that. Yeah, we got iron in there. Sheet. How many did we need? I'll print 4, because 4 could be good anyway. Alright, I think it was only 2. Yeah, 2. Cool. Right. Cable coil. 2 plastic sheets this time. Okay. And screwdriver. Very cool. I like that color. That's nice. Mining belt. That's what we want to make. How easy is that? Oh, 3 iron. Absolutely nothing. So we'll get that going. Make sure we only build 1. We should only really need 1, to be honest. So now we've got a sparey, and that'll come in handy, and I don't know, they can just sit on the floor somewhere. I might go eat the last of my muesli bar. I think that's the last of it. That's it. We're on a potato-only diet now, team. Which I didn't do the rounds for last night and tonight, so let's just do this really quick. Oh, that's alright. Temperature's holding steady. Nice. Nice. So we'll put that away there. What are we looking at? 11 kPa, 28 degrees. $19 and $22. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's do that. Set that in. Nice. Easy. Well, that seems to have settled out quite well with the... I suppose it's working around the density of air that we have in that pipe already, and the sort of the heat radiation to the outside night air. It's all coming up quite well. All right, cool. So that's a bunch of problems sort of dealt with. I guess what we can do with the belt situation... What we might do is... I don't think I'm going to need the hand tool. So we'll actually just drop that there and drop that there. Sure. And then say we were to go digging down in here, we could use the hole that we bore. Now we know there's going to be some coal there, but yeah, this is, so we want the GPS, or sorry, what is it? The GPR, I suppose. Right. Oh, did this not hit bedrock? Interesting. Yeah, I'd be curious how far... Oh no, that hole's nothing. Can go much deeper, I'm sure of that. I'm really curious how far the radar will penetrate. Should be very interesting. And then we covered that this thing's been... The whole network has been using up all the power here. So while that dish should be working now, it still needs its own isolated power source, basically. Now, someone suggested maybe the freestanding sort of battery might be an option. Right, but we'd need to research that. The other option would be to build another power controller, and for that we just need solder, which means we need lead. Right? And that's not really something that we have on hand. But we do need to fix this problem. I think maybe... Well, I might look at doing the research, because I have a feeling someone said that it might just need steel to make that battery. And if that's the case, that's going to be easier than going around in the bush looking for lead. Alright, that should start when the power... Well, actually no, because it's drawing on the whole network sort of thing. I think if I were to turn that off, it would work. Alright. We will re-examine, but we do know that it needs a power source. So, let's get the red research going. Need one more copper and some more iron, which I put in this machine. Right, so that... I think we only actually needed one copper, so we'll just cook that really quick. And yeah, might as well. Couldn't hurt. Couldn't hurt to check. I mean, at the very least, we could actually just, instead of having this power grid here, we could swap. We could put a main battery onto our grid instead. In fact, that might even be the easier way to go about this. So just let that cook. Shouldn't take very long at all.
Hunger, caution.
Yeah. Construction, logic, production, power systems. No, there was a thing about nuclear, fuel cells. Basic fuel cells. Battery cell large. Hang on, so we've already researched that. Battery cell large. Right, it's that, sorry. Yeah, okay, so we can build one of those. Interesting stuff, but more interested in... Kit battery charger. No, that's not what we want. Advanced tools, nuclear fuel cells. That's not it. Basic storage, nope. Power management in logic. Shouldn't be organics. It wasn't tools, that's what we just checked. Well, hang on. Maybe we can make the battery at somewhere. What is going on here? Auto lathe. How frustrating. And that, I guess that's one of the things with the sort of the new research system, it makes it a little bit tougher. Kits? Kit battery. Electronics printer. No, okay, so we're gonna have to research it. I mean, I'm on the right path, I just have to find it. This needs a search bar. Show locked? Show locked, hang on. Fabricator kit. Heavy power infrastructure. Hang on. Wait, was that there? And production. Okay, I must have overlooked it. That's what we need anyway. Fuses. Yeah, that's cool. To have those would be helpful, for sure. Alright. Oh my god. Why can't Escape just leave that menu, please? Alright. Battery. Kit. Gold, copper, and steel. I mean, Jesus Christ. 20 copper? Hey, we can do it. Let's do it. $20 per potato. Alright, we're going to have to start cooking them soon. I mean, we can still eat them at this rate. It's not a big deal. But cooking them, I think they go to 80%, and all it requires is to literally put it in the microwave. Not bad. So this is definitely not tracking. Oh, 15. Oh, but at least this, yeah, this will solve a lot of problems, I think. Oh, whoops, I missed it. Oh my god, I'm getting stuck on everything. Jesus Christ. Kit battery, there we go. So, where is the best place going to be to put this? I mean, I can straight replace that. Because I want to put that back into the system. Yeah, look, it probably makes more sense to just pull it up here, you know? So... we'll drill this out. How is that going to want to go? So we could probably cable strip. I mean, probably do that. So I believe it's got a pass through on it. Is that the idea? Power in, power out. Okay. Maybe that way. Let's do it like that. Yeah? Alright. Should have a switch, shouldn't it? It's probably on the other side.
Jetpack on.
Looks like it's charging. So that's good. That's good news. Meanwhile, I need to plug this back in basically where it originally started. Yeah, so that's the split there. So like... yeah, we could probably do it like that. I think I'll just need cable for this, to be honest. Have it just pass through like that. And that should just charge the grid easy peasy. I don't think I put it in back to front or anything. I mean, touch wood. It's good news. Alright. Grid's good. Everything's back to working to normal again. It should just track. We'll obviously double check that when it does it. And now we've got a not messing around power grid, basically. The only thing that we have to keep in mind is we basically have to use that to swap our big battery in and out of. Now, what can we do to fix that? We could build a battery charger. Yeah, we should do exactly that. Yeah, and we'll put that as runoff for there. Okay, but we've already got the kit to make that, so oh, it's got no juice at all. Hang on, this troubles me. That's interesting. If I want to like jumpstart the network or anything like that, I literally can't now because, you know, at least we had the power controller to do that. So that might be worth building a new a second power controller for exactly this sort of situation. If somehow we run our network down. Yeah, that's power out. Yeah, okay, something passively drew. It's probably that. Passively drew the network down. Cool. So we might have to have a booster. The other thing that we could possibly do is put down the coal generator. Actually, that's a good idea. I think we'll do that. Is that a... Yep, cool. So we've got a solid fuel generator that we start with, and we're not really using coal for much else. You know, so... Makes sense. Geez, lucky I made some spares of these sheets. So we'll grab that kit out. Portable generator. No. We should have a fixed one. Here we go. Solid generator. Nice. Well, let's have a think where it wants to connect. It actually wants to connect onto that line. So... I might be better off putting it over there. Even though I just laid that foundation. Whoops. Let's drop that for a sec. Alright. Grab this. Switch to this. Right. And that's the power line into the grid. So this will jumpstart the grid potentially. So that's good. It's good to have. We're going to need that, and we're going to need that. Nice. And I should have some coal that I dug out of the ground just a little bit earlier, actually. That can just sit in there. And let's go. Oh shit. I just blew up so many bloody things, and I don't know why. Wait, why? Why did that happen? Alright, let's check the damage. It's obviously along this line. Okay. It powered that for a hot second. What did I do wrong? Battery input. Yeah. So the only thing I can think of is... It shouldn't... well, I guess if we look at this as a sort of... Like, I look at this like a pressure valve. Remember, I'm not an electronics person. I'm more of a pneumatics and hydraulics person. So I look at that as a throttle, like a one-way direction of flow. Even though electricity technically flows back to front, right? So, if I had put this through a power controller, maybe that wouldn't have happened. But it still has to go in front of that. That's a bit of a pain in the bum. So ultimately this has happened just because of that connection. I think that's my takeaway. Let's put that to the test. There's a chance now that we've shorted that cable actually, I can test this. You can tell electronics were never my super strong point. So if we strip out this broken cable and we put in this, I believe that should be fine. No. Well, now I am just very confused, right? Technically, that would have been disconnected from that network. I believe, actually, maybe not. Maybe I'll test one last time. There's probably electricians watching this pulling their hair out. But what can I say? I'm rusty. I haven't had to do any of this sort of crap in a long time. Okay, cool. So we've blown out all that cable. Power output. Battery input. I truly don't understand why that's blowing out. The only thing I can think of is if somehow this is sending more power down the cable than it's capable of, in which case that seems like a new development, to be perfectly honest, because you used to be able to use this solid generator just to, fire and forget and power your base. So, like, is this battery somehow back to front? I'm not really sure. It says battery input. Power goes into you and then out of you. Yeah, so there's something... It's very upset with this circuit. But it's not very complicated, so I don't... The only thing that I can think of is that it's somehow pushing more power down the line, and then you would need like maybe a transformer or a heavier wattage of cable. But my point for being skeptical of that is because in the past it's never been the case. If that is the case, this is something that they've patched into probably since before I was even using this generator, which is, I don't know, at launch. So any patch in the last a couple of years probably could have done this. Alright, well look, I am going to fix this anyway and use the last of my cable just to complete this circuit anywho. Yeah, it should have nothing to do with this power controller. This power controller is throttling the power in. Yeah, it's purely about what this cable can handle. And I think it's just putting too much wattage down the line is all that's going on. Or amps, sorry. Yeah. Well, look, if any of you can figure it out, let me know. I'm sure you will. But I guess my next step would be, either change the wattage on the wire so it's just heavy watt, or I would put a transformer in front of the thing. But yeah, I suspect that's exactly what's going on, right? They've just changed the rules on how it all behaves and how much power that thing generates, and the cable's blowing out. Having said that, I'm willing to admit that I'm wrong. I'm already not that great when it comes to power management anyhow. So, but that's all right. Every day's a learning day. So, bit of an adventure. Team, thanks again for joining me. We might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you on the next one.